welcome back to the Backyard Professor Chess videos. In looking at the Ruy Lopez as a chess opening, Bobby Fischer played it a few times. It wasn't his favorite, but he was a master of it. And I am working on the Bobby Fischer series where I examine all of his tournament games, which is going to be really nice. We are to the point in his very fast career. He was almost unbeatable in just the first couple of years of his life. We are just about to that point in the tournament record. In the meantime, I'm going to jump ahead and I'm going to show this Ruy Lopez that Fischer played against Geller, one of the strongest Soviet players in his era. He played him in 1961. This particular Ruy Lopez electrified everyone. No one more than Geller. Because of what Bobby did and how he did it, he had a way of just, Bobby Fischer is proof that when you put your mind to something, you can accomplish something. I have a lot of cares and concerns in the world and things I want to do, so that I'll never get as good as Bobby Fischer was, because he literally was able to give it 17 hours a day every day for years. I can't do that, but I can enjoy this game and improve myself and share with you what I'm learning, and you in turn can improve yourself from the study of the Grandmaster games and the chess openings. This is a typical bump against the bishop, asking the bishop to make a decision. Fischer pulls it back. And now Geller does d6, another typical part of the Ruy Lopez opening. David Bronstein said it's like milking a cow playing the Ruy Lopez. And you just, the first 20 or 30 moves with the Grandmasters, it only takes them maybe 2 minutes to do this. Because it has been analyzed so extensively, and yet it still has pluck. It's a good opening. So here Geller goes bishop g4. Bobby said it is important to do this kick right now, immediately. Because if the queen gets up into here, it will destroy the white's pawn structure. So make black make a decision immediately was Bobby's approach to this. And to this day, this is still done. Bishop a5, c3. Now here's the gamble. Here's the situation where Geller, Fischer noted in, and this is out of his book, My 60 Memorable Games. This particular one is game 29, for those of you who have that book. Fischer says Geller looked really happy. He was smiling after doing this innovation, and Bobby just throttled him. And to this day, apparently, they haven't found much of a refutation for how Bobby handled this. So very few people are going to do this innovation in the Ruy Lopez because of how Bobby handled this. First he hit the bishop, and now what this does, now it's true, and it freaks us beginners out, right? We look at this and we go, oh my gosh, he is taking away the shelter of his king. Fischer mentions that in his notes. He also says what this did is it caused a traffic jam on black's king side. His pieces jumbled into each other. He was gambling also on the idea that Geller wasn't going to be able to coordinate much of an attack against his king because Bobby was going to come at him full force. So true, he did open up his king side in a castled event, but it also put glue all over Black's pieces, getting them tripping all over themselves, and he was much too slow to be able to take advantage and attack Bobby's king. So that is why he pushed. Very interesting. And now Bobby says, because, now here's the consequence. I bumped quick, I'm moving, advancing, making him trip all over himself. Now because he is in confusion, tripping all over himself, it's worth sacrificing a pawn to open up the game. Because the pawns here are all intact, there's no lanes to either side. Bobby says, sacrifice a pawn to get to the king. So there is a very good strategy to keep in mind. Yeah? And that's what happens. Bishop takes e4, and now we can begin to have a fight. Isn't that interesting how Bobby saw that? Knight b to d2, and bishop comes right back up to g6. And he said, after this, after taking the pawn and then putting the bishop back up there, Fischer says, Geller still looked happy. And he just simply did not see what was coming. This is remarkable how this works. First, Fischer says check, takes the knight. And what that does is it messes up the queenside pawns so as to discourage Geller from castling queenside. Because notice, Geller's kingside is completely crammed and undeveloped. Reading the chessboard tells you this is a beautifully perfect opportunity to attack, because, and in the process of attacking, wreck the pawn structure, which just gives you targets to hit. Yeah, that is what Fischer saw, and that is why he went, why he took that knight, because he knew the queen side is not safe now, and the king side is simply unavailable. The king is going to stay in the center, and that means blow it open and go attack. And he has the ability to blow it open. That's really an interesting read, isn't it? Yeah. D takes e5, fundamentally so. D takes e5. So now things are looking good, and knight takes e5. Truly, truly, yes. Bishop comes to d6, and knight takes g6. Yeah, absolutely. And the queen will take g6. There is still, look, you can see it, right? I don't even have to point this out. This is so silly. Rook d1 check. Yeah. You know the story here. But the pure power of the rook on an open file is never better displayed. I know, I say that every game. That's because it's true in every game. Watch what you see what happens. I kid you not. Watch. This rook on open file. Let's keep going. I'm not even joking, man. So beautiful. How this works. Knight c4. Hit the bishop. Now, Geller is going to attempt, he still wants to punish Bobby for pushing those pawns that are supposed to be protecting his king, right? So he's going to try to get a counterattack going. He's going to crack open Bobby's king side, which Bobby already has done for him, in the interest of absolutely throttling him. Fascinating, isn't it? Well, the knight takes the bishop. Boink. Yep. and C takes the knight. Bishop to F4. Systematically, piece by piece, Fischer is developing and exchanging. Have you noticed that? He hasn't gotten all of his pieces out at the same time. He simply, one by one, makes sure he gets all his pieces in this game, and then he's swapping them. Which is a real interesting strategy. Keep that in mind. We're closing in on the glorious moment. So interesting how he does this. So D5. Geller has the central occupation with two very good central pawns. Don't kid yourself, yes. However, there are always exceptions. Queen to B3. And target H takes G4. Okay, Geller thinks he's going to open up the king side of white, which he is. That is true. Bobby ignores all of it and comes here. And he has got targets like crazy, doesn't he? I mean, targets everywhere with that move. That's a breakthrough move. But Geller has a surprise. See, now he's got a discovered check, queen to the king, and a very deadly passed pawn, etc. And so Bobby just completely crumbles here, right? No. No, he does not. He just simply drops his bishop back and takes care of the business. Now, Geller does come to rook d8, which prevents Bobby from doing any more shenanigans at all on the 7th rank, because Geller's got everything covered well. And Bobby comes back here to queen b4 check, and it's here that Geller resigns. And when he first said that, I looked at it and I go, oh, all right. But then I got looking at it and wow. This rook. Look at that rook controlling that file. Fischer just put Geller's king in check. Where's he going to go? He's not going to go there. And he's not going to go there. Right? You have to realize Geller is an experienced Soviet grandmaster at chess who has just truly, literally played thousands of games of chess in his career up to this game, and Fischer is still a teenager. You must see the gravity of this. This is mind-blowing that a teenager did this to Geller. Now Geller has to at least lose a rook, check, and a knight. Check again. That's the gravity of this situation. Fischer said he has to lose at least a rook and a knight. It could have been much worse. But that was the issue. That was the issue that was facing Geller, and that's why he resigned. So, there's your chess video. Another look at the Ruy Lopez. I did several videos earlier on the Pierce, P-I-R-C, opening. I might look at a few more of them. On the other hand, there are some other openings that I will explore, and I do want to explore, but I do want to continue the Bobby Fischer series anyway. I took this game out of the sequence of his tournament games for the simple reason that I wanted to look at some Ruy Lopez because it was asked to show some. And I still have some more Ruy Lopez's that I do want to show you. So that's what I'm going to do this weekend. It's early Saturday morning right now, and I'm making this first one. And I am going to do several more on the Ruy Lopez for us. So it's going to be a Ruy weekend. So hang around. Stick around, I should say. Hang out, stick around, be good, do well, study chess, play hard, work well, drink lots of water, sleep good and all that crap, because we've got chess videos to watch. I will see you guys in the next chess video.